And what's up, YouTube? Julio Cruz, aka Voltron 18 from PlayStation Live, coming at you guys with a deck profile. Before this upcoming Monday, September 17, 2018, analyst. The deck that I placed top 2 local with, Mekk-knight Invoked. My matchups were pretty much against Burning Abyss, Second Light, True Dracos, Paleozoics, Altergeist, and Dinos. Had a little versatility on most of my matchups. The only deck I lost to was True Dracos, still made top 8, brought it down to top 2. So let's get started. Alright, for the main deck, running 3 copies of Mekk-knight Blue Sky, 3 copies of Mekk-knight Purple Nightfall, Search, both your searchers, 2 copies of Mekk-knight Indigo Eclipse, 3, you don't really need 3. All he's good for pretty much is mana monster to come out for you to bring on another Mekk-knight monster. That's pretty much all he does. 1 copy of Mekk-knight Red Moon. So I'm sorry, a little tongue twister for a moment. Uh, Unfortunately, I got the Mekk-knight Yellow Sky a little bit too late before my local. Otherwise, I'll also be running Mekk-knight Yellow Sky. But the deck's due to change by Monday's ban list, and then I'll have that up on Monday or maybe Tuesday for the 9/17/2018 ban list of September. And that will do the change. So all the Mekk-knights I was running that on that day. Other for the invoked monster, 3 Alistair, the Invoker. You can't run Mekk-knight Invoked without him. He's a really good card. He's the key to your extra deck, so to say. We are also running hand traps in the deck in the form of 2 Ash Blossom and Joy Springs, 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbits, and 2 copies of Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. The Ash Blossoms and Ghost Ogre help me a lot, especially in the Paleozoic matchup and also the Altergeist matchup. Not so much True Dracos and when I was doing top 4 Spirals. Not so much the Ghost Reaper, but Ash and Ogres did come and collect for me. Reaper came in maybe once or twice, but it was a card that I needed to fill the gaps. Alright, that's it for the monsters. Gonna go off the spells. Running 3 copies of Magical Meltdown. Since Mekk-knight Invoke did not get hit on this ban list, this is gonna stay at 3. Unless otherwise, when we get out ban list sometime in November, December, who knows when. But they said the next ban list should not be any sooner than November 20th, so we'll get it somewhere between November 20th and on. We don't know, it's Konami. Also running 2 copies of Terraforming. Even with the ban list dropping this to 2, you only really need 2. Also running 2 copies of Will Legacy's Memory. This card actually did help me some games to like pushing for OTK. Because with the times that I wasn't able to get out the Invoke monsters due to cards like Rivalry and Gozen Match, this card was also another card that I played to pretty much like give myself more field presence. Also running 2 copies of Invocation. Fusion spell. 2 is fine as is, you don't need 3. 3 will probably tend to break if you don't have an Alistair. And that, yeah, pretty much summons your Mechaba, your Pega Trios, which I'll explain to extract later. And yeah, since Invocation is recyclable, you don't really need 3. 2 is actually perfect the way it is. Also, since Monday's balance hasn't kicked in because today's Saturday when our balance doesn't kick in until the 17th of September. The Recall by the Grave. That's due to change. I might actually take one out and put in Super Polymerization, which is going to be a really good card in Mekk-knight Invoked this format. Because to deal with a lot of mirror matches, deal with Cyber Dragons, deal with Paleozoics, deal with Trick Stars. So Super Poly is going to be a really good card in this format, especially in Mekk-knight Invoked. Since Call of Grave is going to be a 2 officially Monday, and I'll give you deck profile somewhere between Monday and Wednesday on my new variant of Mekk-knight Invoked for the 2018 ban list. So 3 copies of Call by the Grave was what I was running today because the ban list wasn't in effect yet. But like I said, I'll give you the profile on Monday when the ban list is in effect, or Tuesday or Wednesday. Don't know which day I might be busy. Who knows? But I will get it up there as soon as I can. Also running 2 copies of Scapegoat. This actually saved me some games from OTKs. And it's also good stuff for like the next turn. I'm running 1 copy of Monster Reborn, 1 copy of Upstart Goblin, 1 copy of Soul Charge, and 1 copy of Legacy Succession. So giving your opponent 1,000 life points does not matter in this deck because you could just your Mekk-knights are just pretty much just gonna pushing in for damage. Upside does not matter. You just drawing, you're giving your opponent 1,000 life points. It doesn't matter. They're still gonna lose in the end. They're still losing life points in the end because your monsters are really strong. And the deck is an OTK based deck. And then the revival cards. World Legacy Succession helped me out a couple games. Monster Reborn helped me out a couple games. Not so much Soul Charge, but Soul Charge is also a good first turn card. Let's say you just you just summon monsters off the end, and then you just revive them somehow. Soul Charge is a good card. I usually almost every single one of my games this tournament, I actually started out Soul Charge because with the whole new time procedures, if I drop my life points even very low, somewhere between game 2 and 3, it might mess me up in the end. So, yes, that's pretty much what it was. For the traps, 2 World Legacy Secret. This card is really good. What this card does is you target 1 level 5 or higher monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which is all your Mekk-knight monsters. And if this card is destroyed or leaves field, it destroys the monster that was summoned by its effect. And its other effect, which is a really good effect, especially with cards especially if it's on the field with Indigo Eclipse. It says if a opponent's monster effect or monster effect which activate in a column that Mekk-knight is in, it negates that effect. Continuous does not trigger. If you have a Mekk-knight in a column to your opponent's monster, it stops the effect. Really good card. Actually, helped me OTK because I didn't have the setup, and it also pretty much just messed up like most of my opponents from doing certain monster effects, especially Paleozoics, Altergeist, and Dinos. Card really good. And then the last card that we run in the deck, 2 copies of Evenly Matched. This card actually won me games. Especially against decks like Paleozoic and Altergeist. You open this card going second against decks like Altergeist and Paleozoics, and you have advantage. Paleozoic, because I played against Paleozoics round 5, and I also played against the same Paleozoic player in top 4. This card came in clutch. Game 1, not so much on top 4 because I didn't have a follow-up play and I got Imperial Order. And then game 2, I opened it, but I didn't really need to use it that game. But Evenly Matched, really good card so far in the main. People don't expect to come in game 1. And Yeah, and since your deck goes second, this card's actually perfect. Now we're gonna go on to the extra deck, and then I'll explain to you the reason why I ran certain cards in the extra deck. And the extra deck is due to change soon. Don't know yet. We run 3 copies of Mekk-knight. Invoked Mekaba. You have to run 3 because you're playing Mekk-knight Invoked. Yeah, Mekk-knights are lights. Most of the meta, most decks in this current meta right now are light attribute. So cards like Invocation and the fact that you run Mekk-knights, which are also lights, and most of the meta is Trickstar. My bad, excuse me. Trickstars, Cyber Dragons, Blue Eyes, like anything that's light based in this current meta, you have to run 3 Mekabus because that's literally what it is in the meta. The meta is gonna be Mekk-knight Invoked, gonna be Sky Strikers, it's gonna be Trickstars, it's gonna be Ultra Guys and Crusadias and many other decks. Thing is with all those decks is those decks have light attribute monsters. Yes, so that's what you have to run 3 Mekabus. The Mekabus in the meta is really good. I'm also running 2 copies of Invoke Purgatrio. Also a really good card. It's the OTK card. It's pretty much the Conductor Tyranno of the deck, or so to say, or what is it, ancient gear, Chaos Giant, or whatever it is. It's pretty much all this card can attack every monster in your opponent's field once each, and for every card in your opponent's field, this card gets 200 attack and defense, or just attack. Yes, 200 attack for every card your opponent controls. So pretty much if your opponent has a massive board, and they can't out this card with the fact they have that massive board, this card's going for game. That's all there is to it. This card too, really good. And you banish things like Ash Blossom. You can even banish your own Ash Blossom. There's plenty of fire monsters to ban. Because the Ash Blossom is a fire monster. Ultra Guy's Hexy is a fire monster. Quite a few decks they do tend to run fire monsters here and there, mainly Ash Blossoms. Ash Blossom is the reason why this can come out, and everyone's been running it. And then the 1 copy of Invoke Cactus. In my personal opinion, it's actually pretty good. The only time this card actually came out is against Paleozoics. Paleozoics cannot get around this card. Totally awesome cannot get around this card. And quite a few, mainly Paleozoics. If you play against them, this card really good for Paleozoics. Because pretty much they say they can't out this card. Paleozoics cannot out this card. It cannot be targeted or destroyed by opponent's card effects. Yeah, if I remember that card. Cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects, cannot be targeted by opponent's card effects. So pretty much the Paleozoics cannot out this card whatsoever. Unless they have evenly matched on them. And that's it for the fusions. Onto the links. We run 2 copies of Alistair, the Invoker Madness. Really good card. He actually is the reason why Invoke can actually do damage. Because usually you're most likely going to be summoning a Mekk-knight to an Alistair, the Invoker, and then you just link into him. You get this guy out, you fusion summon, you discard a card, you add another invocation, you fusion summon another monster. Yes, that's what it is. Like, pretty much out the Invoker Madness makes Invokes able to OTK your opponent. And it's also a column, and he occupies a column where you could just set 1 back row, summon a Mekk-knight, or if your opponent has a card in that column, summon a Mekk-knight. That really good card. He's like literally the main link monster you go into in this deck. I'm also running 1 copy of Mekk-knight of the Morningstar. Really good card. He came up on me on a couple occasions, and he pretty much just searches any Mekk-knight monster, searches any World Legacy card, You can search World Legacy Succession off it. You can search the World Legacy Secret. You can search the other World Legacy spell card that summons a Mekk-knight. You can even search for Mekk-knight. Really good card. Actually helped me OTK. One Nightmare Unicorn for the Nightmares. Double Nightmare Cerberus. Double Nightmare Phoenix. And we're also running the one Firewall Dragon. Firewall came up maybe once for me. Usually I tend to either sign him out or the other Mekk-knight out. Let's say my opponent is doing some type of extra link board, or they bring out a problematic extra deck monster. It's either Firewall Dragon or the Mekk-knight Morningstar coming out for my Mega Fleet that's in the side deck that I will explain to you what the side deck is. Which I'm about to go into right about now. And for the side deck, one Command Tech Mech Fleet, he actually might come out because U-boards are no longer a thing due to the Nightmare Goblin being banned as of Monday. But he's gonna be in my side deck just in case, because my opponent will tend to bring out some type of problematic monster in one extra monster zone. Maybe somebody found a way of making a U-board. I want to take him out, but I feel like he's still going to be necessary in case my opponent summons a problematic extra deck monster. That's the only extra deck monster I'm signing right now. Other side cards, 3 Cyber Dragon. Because Cyber Dragon, he's the reason why you go into Chimera Tech Mega Fleet. You can also do Toon Cyber Dragon, but I don't have any Toon Cyber Dragons, and I don't want to fill my deck up with Toon Table contents to put into Toon Cyber Dragon. I'd rather just sign 3 copies of Cyber Dragon. Also signing 3 copies of Twin Twister because of decks like True Draco, Altergeist, Paleozoics. Any deck that runs heavy back row, because I don't main deck back row Destruction until I put the Yellow Star in, which I'm going to redo the deck and change it up to adjust to the 2018 balance. I'm also going to be taking in knowledges for Alistair and still be able to make more plays. But right now, decided Twin Twister, it's actually really necessary, especially in decks that rely on their back row, mainly True Draco, Altergeist, Paleozoics, whatever the case. Anything that's heavy back row related, even Sky Strikers, due to them setting multi-roll, or setting Widowing, or setting Point Drone. This card pretty much just outs that. Also, signing in 3 copies of Shared Ride, because at this format was still heavy search. It came up maybe once or twice. Not many decks in apparently my local today searched heavily. Maybe most of the time I'm going second anyways. So this card came up on one occasion. I think it was against Altergeist the card came about. But yeah, Shared Ride, pretty good card. I think it's still going to be relevant in the format because decks like Trickstar, they still search. Decks like Goki, they still search. Even without the Goblin to be able to make the U-board, I'm pretty sure Goki's are still somehow going to be played. They might use a different link monster that points left and right just to try to possibly get that U-board out. Who knows? I'm also running 2 copies of Hey Trune. Decks like Paleozoics, decks like Altergeist, decks like True Dracos. If they can't respond, they're losing their hand. They're losing their back row. That's what it is. They are losing their back row. Because this card just says, bye True. And even Sky Strikers, if my opponent multi-rolled to set all their back row, I activate this card, everything gets banished. That's why I said this. For heavy back, like I said, my side deck is mostly heavy back row hate. And also heavy extra link hate and heavy search hate. because I plus all the searches with ShareBank. And HTML pretty much says buy back row that's set and it can't be changed. Then it's all going back to the hand that lives in the background. I'm most likely gonna be pushing the game if it ever comes, and it happened maybe once or twice. I'm also starting 2 copies of Unending Nightmare. Back row hit. Back row hit. That's all there is. Back row hit. And then for the last card I'm signing in, it's 1 Curcio Forbidden Spell. To be honest, I didn't have much space to put another one, and also I couldn't find my other one. Because this is really good in a mirror match, and my opponent attempts to activate Invocation. I activate this card a spell, which is most of my deck, along with the monsters. I prevent my opponent in a mirror match from activating Invocation that whole game. If I find my second one, I'm definitely gonna to take something else out of my side and put this in. For all I know, maybe I'll take out one side dragon and put in a second copy of Curcio for the spell. Who knows? Because this card is really good in an invoked mirror match that relies solely on invocation and an elemental heals. It stops at polymerization, dark magician, stops at spell. Not my bad. Dark magician circle. True Dragos, if I stop their diagram from activating or sub one that spells from activating, that's also good. This thing just stops any spell card that my opponent is most likely to play in that match or in that game, so to say. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, it was a whole year since I was able to go back to a certain card shop for a local tournament. That was my first Saturdays back. I had some issues with my local in Selden because of the fact that I did something wrong. I made amends and so on. And like I said, I came, I played, and over a year, what happens? Top 2. Weird. Because not many people that go to their local thought I can actually make top 2 because they haven't seen me in over a year. And also I've been doing a lot of work, a lot of school, and pretty much a lot of other things. So yeah. Let me know in the comment section below. I will be giving the same profile, but I'm going to do it according to 2018 ban list. So this is Motronic 18, aka Leo Cruz. Signing out. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and if you want to see more stuff like this, I'm more than happy to do it. Right now, I have an OTS coming up in 2 weeks, and I'm preparing as much as I can. I feel like this deck is actually going to give me the edge to get my invite for next year. I believe it's in July. I don't know. But yeah. Alright. You guys have a nice night. And Motronic 18 signing out.